Passive income. Two words extremely popular in personal finance and finance circles generally online. Making income while you sleep, not having to do much, no active involvement, and extremely effortless. And I guess I'm here to tell you that maybe this doesn't exist. And people who actually believe in passive income, or I don't even know if they believe in it, they claim to believe in it and sell courses on how to generate it or make content on how to generate it, are usually talking about four main things that I could find online. And in this video, I'm going to break down each one of those four things and show you why they're really not passive. Starting off with rental properties or real estate in general. The idea here is extremely simple. You buy a property, you lease out that property to someone who's going to rent it, and that rent is going to be pocketed by you, generating passive income for yourself. Sounds good in theory. You're not doing anything, you're getting that rental income, which of course could be counted as quote-unquote passive. Now let's talk about the problems with this. A, what about the initial investment? The upfront costs of purchasing a rental property include the down payment, the closing costs, potential renovation costs as well, and the realtor fees, which can be anywhere from 2 to 5%. The average cost of a home in the United States of America is close to $500,000. And the down payment, depending on your country, in this case the United States, could be anywhere from 10 to 20% and sometimes even more than that. So where are you going to generate this $50,000 to $80,000 to actually buy the property up front? That is the first big question, and of course that is not passive. You actually have to put in the work, maybe through your job or having a business, to actually generate that initial investment. Now let's talk about the second problem. Yep, you are getting this rent, but you have other expenses like maintenance fees and mortgage payments being the two big ones that you have to pay from this rent as well. Meaning that at the end of the day, your rental income most probably is not going to be enough to be cash flow positive. Or in simpler terms, after you're done subtracting all your expenses, you'll actually have to pay a bit more out of pocket to keep that property. Of course, this is because there's an interest rate on top of the mortgage payment that increases the amount that you have to pay every month. And in my extensive research doing this, I could not find a single statistic that showed me what percentage of properties are cash flow positive. And even the ones that are cash flow positive only give you $100 to $300 a month. $100 a month or $200 a month is not enough to achieve that freedom, quote unquote, that these gurus and course sellers want you to believe that you can achieve by passive income. And there still remains that big problem that we talked about of actually getting that initial investment. This is just the monetary aspect. The other active aspects of property management include the ongoing management and maintenance of the property. What about finding and screening the tenants, handling the lease agreements, collecting rent, addressing tenant inquiries or complaints, which is completely ignored by these gurus, maintenance and repairs on the property itself, and some legal mandated repairs like repairs to the heating system, the ventilation, etc., etc. This is all extremely active. And even if you can get a property manager to do all of this for you, you have to give them a percentage of your income, and with most properties already being cash flow negative, this is going to eat up your cash pile even more. So where's the initial investment coming from? Not passively. And there's several active elements involved with property maintenance like we talked about. If real estate is not the solution to passive income, they then bring up dividend stocks. Dividends are essentially profit payments companies pay to shareholders as an incentive for them to keep on holding the stock, or just as a way to give back to shareholders. For example, if Pepsi or Coke is making X amount of revenue, they subtract all their expenses, and with the remaining profit, they give some of that back to the shareholders. And they claim this is passive because you only have to buy the stock, and after that, you get your income deposited into your brokerage or your bank account immediately as soon as the company pays out every quarter, every month, or so on. That is true though, but there is a big problem with this. Once again, the initial capital. To invest in dividend stocks or stocks in general, you need a substantial amount of money upfront to build a portfolio that can generate meaningful income. The amount here, of course, depends on the yield of the stocks themselves. Stocks like Pepsi and P&G might pay a higher dividend yield, whereas stocks like Apple, Microsoft, and other tech companies pay a lower dividend yield. But to generate any meaningful income, you need a large capital upfront. Let's take an example and say you want to make $1,000 a month in dividends to live off of. $1,000 a month is not that high for most of the Western world, but let's just say you need $1,000 a month to survive. And let's say that the average yield for your dividend stocks is 4%, which is once again pushing it. Depending on the company, you might not even get 3%, but let's just say that you get 4%. To generate $1,000 per month, which is $12,000 a year, you would need to invest approximately $300,000 upfront. $300,000. There's significant initial capital involved when it comes to obtaining a substantial dividend. Most investors here also would need some sort of knowledge of the stock market and specific companies to find out which ones to invest in. And even if you invest in ETFs, you might need to do research and understand what the dividend dividend yield means, what companies have a good payout ratio or not, and also understand some company fundamentals like revenue, profit margins, growth potential, etc., etc. And as with the stock market, it's extremely volatile, so stocks can fluctuate due to various factors like economic conditions, maybe interest rates, or just simply investor sentiment. And even well-established companies with a history of paying dividends can see their stock prices decline and then stop paying dividends. So if you're someone who doesn't have $300,000 lying around to make $1,000 a month, this is not going to be extremely passive for you. And there's always that risk of a market drawdown for an elongated period of time, let's say 2, 3, or 4 years, which if you cannot tolerate, you will also end up losing not just your dividends, but your initial capital as well. And to be honest, realistically, you're going to need way more than $300,000. The long-term yield of the S&P 500 is 2.91%, and currently it yields 1.32%. That is extremely low. If you want to generate meaningful passive income, maybe $1,000 a month, you will need more than $1.2 million. Do you have $1.2 million lying around? If you do, this is extremely passive. If not, it's very active because you will need to get that $1.2 million first. So now we've talked about the two ways of generating passive income, quote unquote, through assets and why they're not actually passive. Let's switch to maybe starting passive businesses. And one of the ways that people want to do this or say that you should do this is through online courses. Of course, because the world needs more online courses, there's not enough already, and so many people selling online courses know exactly what they talk about. A lot of gurus and people online want you to start selling online courses as a way of making passive income. Once again, on the surface, this might make sense. You make a course, you only have to make that course once, is what they say, and after you're done with that, you can start selling it online. If people find value, they'll keep on buying it, and this course can be about anything that you're passionate about, from fashion, finance, to even Pokemon, whatever you like. But let's break this claim down a bit. The upfront work required to create quality content in terms of an online course, and once again, I'm talking about quality content, is extremely underplayed and undermentioned by people wanting you to make passive income through this. This requires substantial work up front, particularly with the content development. Starting off with the scripting and recording. If the course includes video lectures, you have to script them, rehearse them, and record multiple times and have multiple takes to ensure clarity and also professionalism. This could also involve buying high quality production equipment with the audio and the video as well, since people do care about that. And not just the scripting and recording, you also have to probably create supplementary material. For example, quizzes, worksheets, and discussion prompts. Anything that adds value to your course is something people will be expecting. This also requires careful planning to ensure that they actually align with the course objective and enhance people's learning experience. Now that you have your content and your supplementary material, you'll have to edit it. And not just the video, but also the audio and the visual quality has to be extremely high. And not just courses, if you want to sell an ebook, you will have to edit that ebook as well. It's not that you don't have to edit an ebook. One of the things that I've noticed that is left out a lot is how are you actually going to get those sales? Once you've created the course or the ebook, whatever one you like, the work is not over. It's actually far from over. In order to sustain your sales, you need to have ongoing marketing efforts and also periodic updates. You need to build an online presence, which might involve building a brand through social media, blogs, or even newsletters. You have to engage with potential customers and provide valuable content up front so that they can build that trust and that interest in you. You might have to utilize SEO or content marketing strategies to optimize for search engines to increase your visibility, and this could require knowledge across a lot of things like descriptions, blog posts, promotional materials, and even how to generate organic traffic. And speaking of traffic, you might even, or most probably, will also need to know how to leverage paid advertising. And by that I mean Facebook ads, Google ads, Instagram ads, any sort of ads to reach a broader audience. This requires, once again, understanding how to target and copyright. Even if you're done with all of that, you need to create a sales funnel. Implementing sales funnels, which guides customers from awareness to the actual purchase, leading to a high conversion rate, also takes practice and knowledge. And surprise, surprise, for all of this, you need money. For the ads, you need money. For creating the funnel, you need money. For SEO and content marketing, you need money. And most of all, for creating the course, you need money up front, which is once again not passive. Some course creators have discussed this process and have disclosed that they've spent thousands of dollars creating courses. And not just creating courses, but also maintaining them. The best course sellers on Udemy, Skillshare Pro, or any other website incorporate feedback and continuously improve their course, because that is what students necessitate. You will have to update your content as time goes on because industries evolve and so must the material. I'm also getting tired of saying that at this point, but all of these things are not passive, and all of these also require money up front. The fourth and final thing we'll talk about, also a business, is affiliate marketing. This is touted as being a lucrative source of passive income. Just sell stuff. How hard could it be? Sell stuff and make money on the side. And you can sell anything as well. You can sell cameras, you can sell Vaseline, irons, like anything you want, right? Let's take a look though. The first thing that is not passive at all about affiliate marketing is building the actual audience. The foundation of successful affiliate marketing lies in cultivating a loyal audience. No one is going to buy from you and click on your affiliate links unless you build a loyal audience. And this involves several active steps. You'll need to identify a niche. You have to focus on a specific niche that aligns with your interests and expertise, because this helps establish credibility and a targeted audience. For example, if you're a food blogger, you might have to focus specifically on healthy recipes, and if you're a tech reviewer, you have to focus on reviewing the latest tech gadgets. And now comes the second active part, creating value-driven content. You need high-quality content for attracting and retaining an audience. We've talked about blog posts, but maybe you're a YouTuber, so you'll have to create videos. Maybe you're a podcaster and you'll have to create podcasts. Or if you're a TikToker or Instagrammer, whatever you are, you have to stay consistent and you have to keep posting. And some people have to post for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years before they actually make it big and start earning through affiliate links. Do you think consistently working for 5, 6, 7, or 8 years is passive? I would argue for the most part that is not passive at all. You need significant effort upfront to actually build that audience before you can start earning through affiliate links. And keep in mind, most creators are never going to make it this far. Let's take YouTube for example. According to a lot of research, less than 10% of creators actually get monetized, which essentially means less than 10% of creators have 1,000 subscribers. And this is not earning through affiliate links. We don't even know if these people have affiliate links or not. Let's just assume that 1 out of every 10 people make it as an affiliate. Do you think that's a high probability of success? I would argue not. So if you're getting into YouTube or social media or just online spaces just for the sake of being an affiliate marketer, you might end up being more disappointed than you are happy. I guess my problem is not with any of these methods, but just how they're marketed. None of these are passive and all of these are active. I don't have a problem with real estate investing, and maybe one day I will actually buy a property as well. I don't have a problem with dividend investing, and actually I do have a portfolio where some of the stocks actually pay me dividends. I don't have a problem with content creation or becoming an affiliate marketer. If that's what you're passionate about, go for it, and I wish you all the success in the world. As a matter of fact, even though I would personally never sell a course, I don't even have a problem with selling courses if you're actually generating value for the people consuming your course. The problem I have is how people pitch these ideas to a certain demographic, and I classify this as emotional manipulation. The desire for freedom, the frustration with your 9 to 5, and also using celebrity endorsements by paying them a lot of cash to make their ideas sound legit. If they pitch the idea of eventually generating passive income, that's a different conversation. But the idea is always it's effortless, it's no problem, and anybody can do it without any real effort. And as we've seen throughout this video, that is just not true. So if you want, you can pursue any of the things that we actually talked about and be really good at it. But as you realize very quickly, you're spending a lot more time, a lot more money, and being a lot more active than you actually thought you would, because you might have consumed a lot of this passive income content online. So I encourage you to think about this a bit and see if you actually want to pursue these things without the promise of them being passive, because they're actually really not. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next one.